everyone, welcome. How are you? I'm Heather, I'm Bent Yogi, and this is a gentle but strong grounding flow for fall. Come onto your mat, and if you don't have a mat, it's really okay for this practice. You don't need a mat. Because we are focusing on grounding, you might actually want to practice outside on the grass, or if you happen to be by the beach, practice on the beach on the sand. We're going to get started standing, and just set your feet intentionally but naturally. What does that mean? Well, feel where you have your feet, and then just notice them. Notice where you have your feet. Feel your toes on your mat, feel your heels on your mat or on the ground. And you might make a little adjustment here and there, but don't try to force your feet to be together or try to get them just hips width distance. Just let your feet land and let yourself land. You can find a comfortable place for your hands. Don't worry about where you have your hands. Don't worry about anything right now. Together, let's take a deep breath in and a long breath out. Once more, a big inhale and a long exhale. Now as you inhale, sweep your hands high and reach up. You can look up. Exhale, soften your knees and fold forward. Here, come on into your ragdoll. Let your hands come into the crooks of your elbows. You can let your hands dangle or come to a prop. And I'm going to walk my feet a little bit farther apart because that just feels right for me. So that's what I mean when I say find your foundation intentionally, but also naturally. What works for you right here, right now? Not trying to make your pose look like mine or anyone else's, or even trying to make it look like it was yesterday or feel like it was yesterday. Instead, feeling where you are, allowing your breath to move in and out of your body, and not forcing your breath, but just like you're bringing your attention to your feet and your foundation. Really let your breath be part of your foundation. So as you bring your attention to your breath, naturally you might find your breath gets a little bit longer, a little fuller. You can allow your breathing to slow down and allow yourself to slow down. And that's part of why this is a flow for fall, because things do begin to slow down, and we can take advantage of this time and this energy and allow ourselves to slow down and be more grounded. Take a big breath in and a long breath out. You might add in a little bit of movement here. You might notice if you start to get a little fidgety or antsy here. You can stay in the pose, come back to feeling your feet and feeling your breath. You might be able to let your head hang down here. Take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. Go ahead and release your hands. Walk your feet closer together or to touch. Feel this out. Be intentional with your foundation, but not forcing it. Enjoying this. Here, find your halfway lift. Couple of breaths. Your hands can be on your mat, maybe on your shins. If it feels better, let your hands dangle. Let your hands dangle. Right? Maybe you've been trying to make your practice a certain way, make it look a certain way. So here, just feeling for being in your body and enjoying what your body can do, what you can do. Take a deep breath in. Bring your hands down to your mat and step back to your high push-up, your high plank. Now you can have your knees lifted. You can bring your knees down to your mat, low belly, drawing in and up. Lengthening from the crown of your head through your heels. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, shift forward and begin to lower down to your mat. Again, you can bring your knees down, and we're going to come all the way down onto the mat or onto the ground. Once you come down, untuck your toes, set your hands under your shoulders, and come on up for a Cobra or a low Cobra. So just a really gentle back bend. Lengthening through the sides of your body. Here, your foundation feel grounded. The tops of your feet, your toenails on your mat, the parts of your legs that connect to your mat. Feel your hands on your mat or the ground and spread your fingers really wide. Let your shoulders soften. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, come on down. You can press up through a tabletop and then back to your downward facing dog. Take a big breath in and a long breath out. And take a deep inhale and a big exhale. Now from here, walk your hands back towards your feet. Take your time, feel that walking your hands back. Then connect into your feet and come on up to stand. Nice and easy, roll up, rise up, hands reach high, lift up, big inhale. Draw your hands to your heart as you exhale. Pause for a moment. You can set your gaze, lower your gaze, or close your eyes. Feel where you have your feet. Intentionally set your feet, but let it be natural. Allow yourself to feel where you are. This is a gentle but strong flow. Not a vigorous practice, but the strength of being grounded and really choosing to be where you are right now, connecting to your strength and your power. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. And if you'd like to set an intention for your practice today, set an intention. Maybe it is grounding, being present, being in your strength and your power, being at ease. Take another deep breath in and a long breath out. Inhale, sweep your hands up, reach up, fold forward, exhale. Soften your knees as you fold, let your head drop. Find your flat back, your halfway lift. And bring your hands to your mat and walk yourself out to your high push-up, high plank. Feeling this as you lengthen out, low belly draws in and up. Your two hands on your mat. Feel your fingers, see your fingers. Feel your toes on your mat. Your knees can be lifted or you can bring them down. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, shift forward, halfway down for your low push-up or come all the way down to your mat. Here, inhaling. That cobra, low cobra, maybe an upward dog this time. Feel it out. What feels natural and good for you? Take a deep breath in. Back to your downward facing dog. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, come on into your child's pose. Let your hips come back towards your heels. You can have your hands forward. You might have your knees together and your arms alongside. Feeling the strength of choosing, really creating just the right variation for yourself, the right practice for yourself today. Take a big breath in and a long breath out. Take a deep inhale and a big exhale. From here, come on into your tabletop, hands and knees, a couple of cat-cows. On your inhale, lift your gaze and your chest and your tailbone, your belly drops. As you exhale, round your spine. Lengthen through your arms, lift out of your shoulders. Inhale, letting your belly drop, your chest comes forward, tailbone and gaze go up. Exhale, round your spine. Come to a neutral spine. And come on into your downward dog or your child's pose. You choose. Feel what works for you. Take a big breath in and a long breath out. Take another big inhale. As you exhale, make your way to the front edge of your mat. You can step or jump. Set your feet intentionally, naturally. Find your halfway lift. Fold forward, exhale. Inhale, come on up to stand. Reach your hands high, lift your heart, look up. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift your flat back. Inhale, really long spine. Hands to your mat, stepping back to your high push-up. Knees lifted or lowered. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, forward and halfway down or all the way down. Inhaling your upward dog, your cobra, your low cobra, feeling what works for your body, feeling your breath. Exhaling back to your downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. Right here, downward dog or child's pose. Maybe you're working with a different pose that feels right for you. Be inspired by the fact that you showed up today to be in your body and create this practice for yourself. Take another big inhale. As you exhale, lightly step or jump to the front edge of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale, come on up to stand, hands high, heart lifts, fold forward, exhale. Find your halfway lift, your flat back. With your hands on your mat here, step your left foot back behind you. Come on into your runner's lunge. You can walk your right foot a little to your right. As you land in your runner's lunge, check in. Feel that where you have your feet works for you. And having just that little bit of space right to left generally gives you a little more stability, a little more balance. You can have your hands on the ground, maybe on a couple of props here for some lift. As you inhale, begin to straighten your right leg and lift your hips to your own degree. As you exhale, bend into your front knee, track your front knee over your front ankle, little lift to your chest and your heart. As you inhale, really gently, slowly, intentionally lengthening through the right leg. As you exhale, bending into your right knee, tracking it over your ankle, grounding through your right foot. Now one more time. Inhale, lifting your hips, lengthening through the back of your right leg. And as you exhale, gently fold forward over your right leg. You can adjust where you have your hands. You're lengthening through the back of your right leg, but that doesn't mean it has to be straight. You might have a really big bend in the knee. Working with your body to create some space and tap into some space without pushing or forcing. So maybe slowing down a little bit, slowing your breath down, allowing your breath to slow down. As you tune into your breath, your thinking mind can slow down. And as you take an extra breath or two here, you might notice things do start to loosen up and soften. You can let your left heel sink a little closer to your mat. If you're still holding your head up, you might be able to drop your head. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. And take a big inhale. As you exhale, bend back into your right knee. Now, spin your back foot flat and come on up to your warrior two. Let that left arm, your left arm, bring you up to your warrior two. And check in with your feet. You might take a little bit of a longer stance, walk your front foot more forward. You might walk your front foot more into your midline. Notice if you feel ungrounded and off balance. Sometimes it's a physical adjustment that you can make. Sometimes it can be just tuning back into your breath, creating some space in your thinking mind, and feeling where you are. Sometimes it's setting your gaze. Sometimes it's coming out of the pose entirely to take a breath, maybe back in your child's pose or in your downward dog. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. Soften your toes. You might even lift your toes. That's what I just did. You might lift your toes and then place them back down again. Take one more big inhale here. As you exhale, bring your hands down to your mat. Step your left foot up to meet your right. Halfway lift, inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale, come on up to stand. Connect through your feet so you can lift up. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale, with your hands on your mat. Now, step your right foot back behind you for your runner's lunge. Once you land your right foot, feel if you need to adjust your left foot. Take it a little to the left, Adjust your hands. Your right heel is lifted, your right knee is lifted. Let your left knee track over your left ankle. Hands on the ground, maybe if you want a little bit of a lift, hand on props. As you inhale, begin to straighten your left leg and lift your hips up. As you exhale, bend back into your front knee, just tracking your front knee over your ankle and a little lift to your chest. Inhaling, lifting your hips, lengthening through the left leg. Exhaling, bending back into your left knee. Keep your right leg active and engaged here. Inhale, lifting your hips and lengthening through your left leg. Exhaling, bending back into your left knee. Once more, inhaling, lifting your hips gently, gently lengthening through the left leg. And now as you exhale, you can begin to fold forward to your own degree. You might adjust where you have your hands. Your right heel might soften a little bit. Again, you can be working with a pretty straight left leg or a really big bend in your left knee or in your right knee. Begin to lengthen, begin to soften, begin to connect into your strength and into your power. That word, begin, has so much power in it for me. It means that it doesn't matter what's just happened, right here, right now, you have the opportunity to start over, especially when you're on your mat. Just taking a breath gives you the opportunity to begin again. Take a deep breath in and a long breath out. And take a big inhale. As you exhale, bend into your left knee, spin your back foot flat, and come on up to your warrior two. Hands can reach front to back. You can bring your hands to your heart, to your hips. Your front foot is flat and straight. You might adjust where you have your front foot, a longer stance or a shorter stance. Sometimes we take our feet too far apart. We get a little overzealous, a little excited. We take our feet too far apart in warrior two, and then we actually throw ourselves off balance. So notice that. Notice if in your enthusiasm for your practice, you throw yourself off balance. Set your gaze here. Maybe you close your eyes, soften your shoulders, take a deep breath in, and a long breath out. Take a big inhale, and a big exhale. Take a deep breath in here. As you exhale, bring your hands down to your mat. Step your right foot forward to meet your left. Halfway lift, inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale, come on up to stand. Reach your hands high, lift your heart, look up. Draw your hands to your heart, pause for a moment. Set your feet, intentional, but natural. Feel it out. An even press right to left. As your hands meet at your heart, an even press right to left. Take a big breath in and a full exhale. Now, set your gaze, set one foot as your standing foot, and come on into your tree pose. Doesn't matter which foot you set as your standing foot. What matters is that maybe you slow down a little bit. Really feel that foot. Your toes on your mat, your heel on your mat. There's a little bit of space under your arch. Your lifted foot can land anywhere on the standing leg. You can have your hands at your heart. If it works, take them up to the sky, maybe out to the sides. And being grounded, being in balance, doesn't mean that you're not wobbly at all. But instead of hanging on, just allow that little bit of movement. Really like a tree that has roots and doesn't move at its base, but up in its limbs, its branches. There's definitely movement. Take a big breath in here. As you exhale, bring your lifted foot down, bring your hands to your heart. And yes, we'll do the other side, but take a moment right here, 2 feet on your mat. Pause. Big breath in. Big breath out. Now set your standing foot, set your gaze, that helps a lot, and come on into your tree pose on this side. Maybe you work with your foot really low, toes on your mat. Maybe the foot is a little bit higher or a lot higher. Not trying to make it something that you think it should be. Intentionally setting up your tree pose. But allowing some space. So you're not pushing, not forcing, not hanging on. Whatever hand variation you like here, shoulders soft, gaze is soft, soften your face and your jaw. Take one more deep breath in. As you exhale, lifted foot comes to your mat. Reach your hands up if they're not already up. Take a big inhale, fold forward, exhale. Find your halfway lift, your flat back. Bring your hands to your mat. Step back to your high push-up, your high plank. Knees can be lifted or lowered. Take a big inhale as you exhale, forward and halfway down or all the way down. Inhaling to your upward dog, your cobra or your low cobra. Exhaling back to your downward dog. Take a deep breath in here. And a long breath out. Once more, big inhale. And a big exhale. Now bring your knees down to your mat. Sit back over your heels. Come onto your back. Lie on your back here. Set your left foot flat on your mat. Take your right foot across your left thigh. So you have your half pigeon variation, if you prefer. And if you prefer a traditional half pigeon, you can set that up. You can stay here, or you can lift this left leg, your left leg, catch the back of the left thigh or the front of the left shin, draw your legs in. Let your shoulders soften. Feel if you're interlacing your fingers. Maybe you're using a towel or a strap to give you a little more room. Feeling your breath. We're giving ourselves some room. That's exactly what we do every time we get on our mat, every time we come into our practice. We're giving ourselves some room to breathe, feel where we are, to slow down, connect to the earth, to our breath, connect to this moment so we can be grounded and present and more at ease. Take a big breath in and a long breath out. Release your hands, release your legs. You can give your knees a squeeze. Now set this up on the other side. Set your right foot flat, left foot comes across your right thigh. You can stay here. You can stay here. You can come into a traditional half pigeon, or you can lift your right leg. Use your hands to draw your legs in a bit. And you might play around with it a little bit. Explore where you put your hands. Explore just where you have your left foot, your left leg. Intentional in this breath, in this practice, but natural. Not trying to make it like someone else's. And certainly not trying to rush it. Often we do that. We try to rush our body to get stronger, more flexible. You are already strong. You're showing that in showing up today. You're already flexible in being receptive to this practice today. Take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. Release your hands, your legs. Once more, draw your knees into your chest, give them a squeeze, and set up for your Shavasana. You can take your legs straight out on your mat. If you want to take your legs up against a wall, that's a really, really nice option. You might work today with your feet at the outer edges of your mat flat and your knees together so you can feel your feet, still feel your feet on the ground. Ground is supported. Hands and arms can come alongside you, shoulders soften, palms up. Take a really big, deep, full breath in, intentionally lengthening and deepening your breath. Hold the breath for a moment, and now release. Softening into your foundation, the earth, the support beneath you, all around you. One more deep breath in. And a breath out. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And bring some movement into your body. You can let your head roll side to side. Drawing your knees into your chest. Roll to one side. And pause. Take a big breath in. And a breath out. Make your way to seated, comfortable seated position. Hands to your heart or at your legs. Intentionally taking your seat, but letting it feel natural and comfortable for you. Taking a seat in your strength and in your power. Being grounded and at ease here. Take a deep breath in. And a long breath out. Drawing your thumbs to your forehead, to your third eye center. Together we say, Namaste. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining me today for this strong but gentle grounding flow. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like the video, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so you're notified as new videos come out. I'd love to know how you feel after the practice. So leave me a message in the comments below. I'm so glad you joined me here. Please check out my Patreon page. It's also The Bent Yogi. I have some cool stuff to offer there. And my Instagram, The Bent Yogi, where almost every day I post an inspiring picture, uplifting quote, something just to give you a little lift in the middle of your day if you don't have time to get on your mat and practice. I'm Heather. I'm The Bent Yogi. Thank you again for joining me today. Please take care of yourself, take care of each other, and I'll see you on your mat.